Hello everyone, my name is Murtaza and I'm a professional accountant. I kind of specialize in filing taxes for Uber drivers. I do a lot of tax filing for Uber drivers. Um, a lot of my clients and I receive a lot of calls from other Uber drivers, and their questions are generally, they revolve around the Uber tax summary. So I thought it's a good idea if I just make a brief video on explaining the Uber tax summary. So right in front of us is an Uber tax summary. I just labeled it, label the amounts that I'm gonna talk about in this video. As you can see, A, B, C, D, and so on. And yeah, so that's the thing. So before I go to the exact thing, we just need to understand one thing. So Uber doesn't charge or riders any money. Whatever Uber charges the riders is it's the money that it is charging that money to the riders on behalf of the driver, and then it takes its share or its cut or its fees out of that money and gives the rest or the balance to the drivers, right? As their weekly or daily or whatever payments, right? So I'm based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm in GTA, Greater Toronto Area. So I'm gonna be discussing a text summary of an Uber driver who drives in Toronto, right? So let's go to the text summary now. So the first thing, A, labeled A, is gross Uber rides fare. So this is the basic amount that the driver charges to the riders for taking them from point A and dropping them off at point B, from pickup point to the destination. And it's calculated on the basis of the distance that you traveled, number one, and the time that you spent on that trip, right? So this is the total, let's say 46,499 and 80 cents is the total amount that this driver earned from the rides fares, which is the very straightforward thing, the amount charged for the distance and the time. Second thing is gross Uber Eats fare. So some drivers they do Uber Eats along or as well. So this is the same thing that the Uber driver kind of charged the passenger for the pickup and the drop off fees, the pickup and traveling, all those things, and which was this amount, the amount shown as B, right? So this is the gross amount. The third amount is split fare. You can see over here, C, 69.90 cents. So split fare is like you see a lot of those amounts in especially in Excel clients, people who drive Excel. So what happens is like on a weekend night, 7 people rode your car, and they just they wanted to share the fare between each other, right? So they would use the split fare functionality in their side of the app. So Uber has provided the riders the facility to share, to actually split the fare amongst themselves. Um, and then Uber charges, I think, 25 or 30 cents per transaction. And that is something that, again, Uber charges on behalf of the driver, and then takes that money back from the driver, right? Before paying the weekly payout or whatever, it takes that split money out. Tolls, again, so for example, if you're in Toronto or GTA, you will be using, let's say, EDR 407. So this is the, if you used 407, you had to pay some toll. So this is the toll that the rider has paid you. The rider has paid to the driver, and since Uber is collecting all that money from the rider, so Uber will collect this amount and give it to the driver, right? And just to let you know that if your actual toll was more than what Uber paid you, you can actually claim that from Uber. So just contact their helpline, and you can claim that. Airport fee, another a very material amount. So this is like Uber has back in 2000 before two I think it was June 2018. Before that, um, Uber drivers were not allowed to pick up riders from the airport, right? They could only drop off people and then just they had to go away, right? They were not able to pick up any passenger from there. So after June 2018, they were allowed to do so. So they have this waiting area as well, and then a call comes, they go and pick up the passenger and just take them to the destination, right? So Uber kind of struck a deal with the airport, Greater Toronto Airport authorities, and so Uber has to pay some money to the authority, right? To the airport authority. So what's happening is that the rider pays that fee to the driver, and then which Uber collects, and then Uber takes that money off from the driver and give the rest to the driver, right? Booking fee. So booking fee, the concept is that since Uber says that okay, Uber says to the driver that since I'm bringing you orders or work, right? So each order that I give to you, like when a rider requests a ride in their app, it goes to Uber, and then Uber sends that kind of ride to a driver, and the driver accepts it. So as soon as the driver accepts it, uh, Uber would say, "Okay, brought you an order, and you booked it, right? So I'm gonna charge you a booking fee for each request that you accept, right?" So that's why. So again, this amount is charged to the passenger by the driver, or charged to the passenger on behalf of the driver by Uber, and then Uber takes that amount back, since this is like Uber's income, right? So they would take it back from your fare. That's why you can see like it's a fixed amount. So you can see I think 2.5 dollars or $3.25 per ride, right? In every ride it shows as an addition, and then it is subtracted from your fare. So that's what the booking fee is, right? Tips, you would know what tips is. Like any passenger would just tip you through the app, and Uber would just take that money and give it to you, no deductions, right? The total amount. So the total amount, this H, it is very confusing for most of the people. They think that this is our total earnings or total income or whatever, right? But this is not. This is just a total of all these amounts. Okay. So this is not representative of any let's say any amount which can be directly used for tax purposes. No, it can be used as a starting point to calculate your gross earning or net earning, whatever. But this is just a total of all these amounts. It's not your total earning, so don't be confused about that. Now looking at the HST on Uber rides, 7,393.33 cents. So what is this? This is again, this is just the gross HST that you collected. Actually, just the HST that you collected on the services that you provided to the riders. So whenever you get a rider, you get a fare. You get the fare, which is the amount for your service, and then you also charge the rider 13% HST on top, right? So this is the amount that you collected as HST. So Uber is recording all that, so it tells you at the end of the year that this is actually you can find those on your monthly summaries as well. So this is the amount that Uber tells you that this is what you collected as HST. So you're gonna give a part of this, most probably a part of this amount to CRA. You're gonna remit that amount, a part of it. Referrals and incentives. So again, So this is the amount that, so Uber really wants the drivers to keep on driving, keep on giving good, nice service to the passengers, to the people, right? Drive as much as they can, drive a lot and all that. So that's why they have this quest and promotions for from different categories of the driver, like you're a diamond or platinum or gold or whatever, right? So all those promotion amounts depend. So those are promotions just to keep the drivers interested in the job, in working for Uber, right? So those incentives are not a part of your fare, but they are just a kind of a compensation or an appreciation from Uber. So all those, and if, let's say, a driver recommends refers another driver to drive for Uber and gives them their referral code, so the other so that kind of referral incentive that they get is also summed up over here, right? So under the other potential deductions, you see Uber rides service fee. So this is the main service fee that Uber collects. So most of the time it's 25%. So Uber says that, okay, whatever. So let's say if you're gonna charge if you're gonna charge $100 to a rider, I'm gonna take 25% off that, right? I'm gonna take $25 off that as Uber fee, right? So this is that thing. So don't get confused by it could be 25%, it could be different as well, because it keeps on changing, right? So but this is that amount. So this amount and this amount are quite connected, right? Again, with the same concept with the Uber Eats service fee. So it's the same thing that Uber says, okay, whatever you make off your Uber Eats orders, this is what I'm gonna this is what my cut would be, right? Another quite confusing number is the on-trip mileage. A lot of drivers say, "Oh, this is not the mileage that I actually drove. Like my odometer shows that I drove for like 52,000 kilometers just for Uber, and this only shows 26,000, whatever, right?" So basically, this is the on-trip mileage. Means that when you start a ride, when you start a trip, and when you finish it. So this is the distance covered during that trip. So this is the accumulated amount for all the trips that you kind of started and ended and finished, right? So like the number of kilometers that you drove from point A to point B. That's it. It does not include the number of kilometers that you drove to pick that passenger up, or that you kind of cruised around in the downtown, or you came from Brampton to Toronto, or whatever. You live in a suburb and then you come down to the downtown of a big city just to kind of start getting work. So although those kilometers are to be taken as business kilometers or business mileage, but they are not included here. Uber only records the kilometers that you drove for completing trips. um, so this is it. I hope this explanation kind of helps you, right? And I have also put this information on my blog, so if you want to go there and see. So yeah, I hope this information is useful to you. So keep driving, guys. Drive safe, take care, bye.